Hey guys! So this video is for the orchestra and we're going to keep going over pinky power, which is something we learned in the videos from last week where we're using our pinky, our fourth finger, in order to play some notes. So as review, our first finger goes on the first string, second string, third string. Your pinky has to stretch. It does not go right next to it. And that way, when you play it, it sounds the same as the open string that's higher than it, the open string to the right. So you have open D, one finger E, stretch for F sharp, right next to it for G, then you stretch, and you get your A, which should match the A. Now, your fourth finger A is going to have a little bit of a different sound quality than your open A. The open strings are louder, they ring out more than when we use our fourth finger. It's a different quality. Oh, that was a little too high. It's a different timbre. So you really just need to practice doing that. And a good way to do it is walking up the scale and going, so you can see my fingers. D, E, F sharp, G, stretch for that A, and see if it matches. You might also notice this sounds like do, re, mi. You've got do, re, mi, fa, sol. And then sol, fa, mi, re, do. It's the first 5 notes of the scale. And as a quick review, the reason why we need this, why we need pinky power, is if you're playing a song that before your A, you have either a D, E, F sharp, or G, and after your A, you have one of those D string notes again, G, F sharp, E, or D, because we're more likely to get the correct notes if we stay on one string, and it makes it easier instead of having to cross strings just for the one note. So you really need to just practice walking up to it and seeing if it matches. The more you do that, the better you're going to be, and you're going to hear it. You're really training your ear for this one. It's a big thing about playing an orchestra instrument, violin, viola, cello, bass, any of the string instruments, is you need to be able to hear it. Because one day, you won't need these finger tapes anymore. These are just here to help you right now to learn where your fingers go. But when you watch professional musicians playing, they don't have these stickers on their instruments. These are kind of like training wheels. And eventually, we don't need our training wheels anymore. We learn how to ride our bike, or we learn how to play our instrument and hear the notes, which is why I'm not giving you that fourth sticker. You don't need it at this point. But you just really need to practice D, E, F, G, stretch, A, and test it against your open A. You can do that on any string using your pinky and stretching. Make sure it matches. And then your A. Oh, the E's a little funky with that. Right. But other than that, it's the same. So if you have 4 fingers on your G string, your lowest string, it should match your D string. 4 fingers on D will match your A. 4 fingers on A should match your E string. And that's another way to tell if your instrument's in tune or not, is if they match. So, really important. Practice that on all of your strings. It's the same stretch for your pinky, and something you've got to get used to now. Now, let's take a look at our book on page 23, which I have in front of you. Last time we did 83, We did 84. We did not do 85. So we're going to do 85 right now. High flying. I'll make myself a little bigger again. And I'm going to do it without the bow this time. We're just going to play it pizzicato, high flying. So let's take a look at it before we play. And let's see how many A's do we have to play. We have some eighth notes, no A's yet. Here's an A, it's a half note, 4 fingers. And here's another one. So we only have 2 A's. But we're going from E to A. So we're going from 1 finger to 4 fingers. And that's a lot. You got to make sure you really know where your pinky needs to go at that point and all of your fingers so that you've got that stretch. You can see it on my hand. You can see it up here, how there's space between the first and second finger, no space between 2 and 3, and then space for your pinky. You can also see it here. So going just from 1 to 4 is a lot. So this is going to be number 85, high flying pizzicato, which means I'm plucking. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and pinky, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and pinky, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now we're going to do that again. And if you didn't already play with me, try to play with me this time and really focus on that spot from going from E to pinky power A. It's a big leap, E to A. You got to keep your fingers right there so that you know it's set. So again, this is 85 high flying. 1 and 2 and 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 pinky, 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and. So make sure you're really careful when you're practicing that. And you can even practice it by playing it as an open A and then going back, doing it with pinky power and making sure it matches. It's very important because you want that same note. You want the same note, A and A. And just going, a way to practice that, especially this E to A, is play your E, open A, then play E, pinky power A, and see if it matches. That's a very good way to practice it. Same thing at the end. You can go open A to open D, and then pinky power A to open D. That's very important you get that note correct. And this is going to take a lot of practice. But once you get it, once your fingers learn where they need to go, it's going to be so much easier, just like everything. The beginning felt weird when we first started doing this, especially that stretch to F sharp. Now it's the same thing. Feels weird. You'll get used to it. It's a very, very important skill that you're going to need for your future as a violin or viola player. So make sure you really spend a lot of time practicing this and just getting used to it and just comparing A to open A and see if you can hear if it's too low or if it's too high. Really develop your ear. Make sure they match. So make sure you're in the right spot. So that is, again, your pinky power for the D string, getting that A to match. And you can do the same thing on the A string. Pinky power, getting it to match your E string. You can do it on all 4 strings. And you will need it on all 4 strings eventually. So make sure you guys spend a lot of time practicing that because it's really important. So I hope this helps because I know we are struggling a little bit with pinky power. And and I hope everyone's doing well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.